Hey guys, Deadbo here. Welcome back to another Starfield video. And I'm really excited about this one. In this video, we'll be making a tier list of all of the Class C ships you can currently get in Starfield. Now, just to get some housekeeping out of the way before we start, there's going to be obviously various criteria per ship. So whether or not it's something you can get through piracy, whether it's something you can get through a vendor, or whether it's something you get through a quest line, so on and so on, right? Based on that criteria, we'll be evaluating which sort of category the ship falls under, and then obviously how good the ship is itself, reactor, shields, so on and so on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Alright, so first up we have the Abyss Tracker here. This is a poor Class C ship, very sort of weak reactor, um, you know, very weak shields as well, only 850. The maximum shields you can get in the game is 1600. Grav drive seems to be okay, but aside from that, I really would not recommend this ship. Also, it'll cost you like a couple of 100k credits to buy, and if you do sort of want to collect this ship, you can get it from the Porima ship services technician in Paradiso, right? So where do I see this ship on the tier list? I would say this ship here would sit somewhere around the D tier, right? Because there's no reason for you to go out there and buy this ship, right? I would really strongly recommend against it. Next up on our tier list, we have the Autoban, and I think this is one of sort of the more popular ships in the game. So this is once again a Class C personnel ship. This is widely available through any vendor, so it can basically spawn in any inventory. By means spawn is any vendor can sell it as long as you're above level 64. So it's Porima, Sol, Alpha Centauri. You can find this ship. It'll be widely available, right? Now here's the thing. It doesn't have the best react in the game, so it's sitting at 37. It doesn't have the best shields in the game. They're like third or fourth best shields in the game, right? Decent grav drive. Comes with okay weapons. Not a big fan of laser weapons. So if you do stumble upon this in the wild, I strongly recommend you pirate and then use it as a template to build on. Otherwise, I would not recommend buying this ship. It's not worth it, right? This is a 566k ship. There's much better options out there, right? Having said that, it is one of the better ships in the game. So I would say the Autoban 3 is somewhere around, tethering A and B tier, but I would say A tier here. Just enlarge it a little bit. It is a good ship, no doubt about that, but it's not worth the money, right? Next up on the tier list, we have the Babylon 2 here. So this is not the greatest Class C ship by any stretch, right? So this ship can be obtained two ways. This is a Galbank Babylon 2, right? So if you do stumble upon in the wild and you do, you're into piracy, this ship will give you at least 20k credits. Plus the template itself is not, too bad. It comes with Class C reactor 27 in terms of power generated. Okay shields at 1000. Okay grav drive there, right? Comes with lasers, ballistic weapons, and the suppressor there. So not the greatest, but once again, this is a ship that you get much earlier than anything else that we've covered on this tier list so far. And you can also buy from a vendor, which I don't recommend you do, because there's tons and tons of better options out there. What is the ship value there? Let's see. So it's 346,000, right? I'd rather go for the narwhal over this all day every day, right? But this is out there in the wild. It is a Galbank ship, and you can essentially pirate it for free and walk away with a ton of credit, and then you can go and resell it without paying registration fees. So if you don't know how to do that, check out one of my guides, right? So where does this sit on the tier list? I would say, it's a good ship to find because you will get tons of credits out of it. But aside from that, I'm not a great fan. So I'd say this is more like a C tier, right? You get it early on, it's widely available, and you just get rewarded essentially from going out of your way to get this ship. Alright guys, so next up on the list we have the UC Sys Defense Chimera. So this one here is a little bit difficult because I could not get my hands on the Chimera 3. If you do get your hands on the Chimera 3, so this reactor will come here with 38 It'll have shields of 1190 instead of 805, and it'll also have where's the cargo here? Cargo. So cargo capacity. So it will come with the same cargo capacity, right? Essentially, what you get is a better reactor. You get much better shields, like second or well, third or fourth best shields in the game, and you get a little bit better grav drive as well, right? Overall, this is one of the rarer, better looking ships in the game. The only way you can get this ship is through piracy. You cannot buy it. You can only encounter it, right? So the way I've done it here is, I'll show you how I've found the ship here. So let me see if I can find it. Essentially, it's a random encounter where the UCs are fighting with the pirates. As you can see here, so you'll have to eliminate all of the pirates and then eliminate all of the UC ships. And there's a way to do it without incurring any bounty. All you gotta do is just follow the guide that I've made, right? So I'm gonna keep referring back to it. So you have to clear all of the fodder here, and then you need to isolate the Chimera there, and then you need to go and pirate it. Now, where do I see this fitting on a tier list? This is an A-class ship. It's really sort of difficult to get her, obviously, especially if you're playing on harder difficulties. The higher level you are, the better chance of the Chimera you can encounter. If you do want to get the ship, I suggest you go to like a level 85 or 75 system, switch it up to very hard difficulty, and then try and hunt it there, right? Overall, very good looking ship. I think it even looks better than the Vista. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend you do. As I said, the only issue is you can't buy it and you have to pirate it. I have the Shuttle 3. So this ship here is very commonly found. It can land on any planet, so you can essentially steal it without bounty. You can also buy from any vendor as long as you're level 54 and above. The ship itself is nothing special, but given how common it is and how easily you can find it, this makes it a very good ship as a template to build on, because this will constantly land on planets, right? And you can just go and get it. So engines, 6 to 20, nothing spectacular in terms of engines. Decent shields at 1000, so they're not the best shields, but you know, as a starting ship, this will do. And a reactor with 32 strength. Once again, nothing fancy, but given how commonly and widely available it is, this is a very good starting ship, right? It's also looks really industrial. If it's something you guys like, I know a lot of people prefer this massive industrial vessels, so I guess that will also tick some of the boxes. Now, where do I place this on the tier list? This will be higher than the Abyss Tracker, only because it's got better stats and it's sort of more widely accessible. Once again, if you do need say a good starting template, or if you're rushing past the New Game Plus, this will actually give you a very good starting template. Alright, so next up we have the Crossbow 3, also known as the Crimson Fleet White 3 or the Spacer Hyena 3, right? In my opinion, this is one of the best ships you can potentially find in the game. It comes with a Class C reactor there. It's not the best reactor, because there's one you can get there with a better repair rate. But aside from that, 40 is the max power you can get. It comes with very good engines here. The sails, you can obviously get much better sail engines, but hey, you get 4 of these right out of the gate. 1315 shields, which is second or third best shields in the game. So straight away, you get yourself a cracker blueprint, so you can build on, right? If you're not a fan of the way the inside of the ship is, because it is a bit of a maze, you can always go and rearrange it, right? Now, things to note here. You can buy the crossbow here from essentially any vendor, as long as you are level 72 or higher, right? Or, on the contrary, you can encounter this ship as a Crimson Fleet White version, which is a pirate, and you basically grab it from a mission board, do the bounty, one-on-one fight, clean getaway, right? You get yourself a what is this, 500k plus ship easily, right? Second option is Spacer Hyena. You encounter him up in space, you fight him, you board him, and you take the ship. Given how accessible this ship is and how good this ship is, I would say this is a S tier ship here. And as you can see here, it comes in 3 different variants. So is the other one here. Let me just find it. Yep, right there. Right. So any of these variants will do. Very, very good ship. I'd highly recommend it if you do find it. Make sure you board them and take it.
No
All right.
ships better in the settle. Excellent.
Next up, we
Prepare.
have the Noel. Now, this is going to be 3 ships in one again because the Noel comes in different variants. It is perhaps the lowest out of the 3 variants we're going to discuss. However, this is obtainable the earliest, right? As far as I'm concerned, there is no level requirement. The vendor does stock random sort of stock, so you may not always find it. But this is a Class C ship with 36 reactor, decent laser weapons on it, ballistics, and it's got missiles as well, right? But what makes this good is the reactor and the fact that you can get really early on. Now, in my other video, I've advised against buying the ship, especially if you like mid to late game, because you can find much better options without having to spend 400,000, right? So what are the other options? They look exactly like this, except they don't have a front mount. So one of them is called the Orca, is also sold by this vendor here. Obviously, I don't have it at the moment because the stock does vary, but it's just like this, and it has this sort of color, right? And the other variant you can get, and you can get it for free, is from the Crimson. It's called the Crimson Fleet Wraith 3. It's got slightly better reactor. However, it does suffer from the same problem as the Orca. You'll need to be above level 60 to encounter that particular version. Otherwise, the previous versions will be on par with the Narwhal, and the Crimson Wraith 1 or 2 you'll be able to basically pirate from the pirates, no pun intended there. So, would I advise buying this? Probably not. It's up to you guys. You know, your first playthrough, you can get away with a Class A, even Class B ship, right? It's not up until you hit New Game Plus, when the combat gets a lot more challenging, when you get yourself a Class C ship. But by that point, you have a lot of better other options out there, right? So, looking back at the tier list here, I would say the Crimson Fleet one, I'll put a rank B here, because when you start encountering this ship, you'll also start encountering these ones, and it's just not as good as those, right? Narwhal, I'll put a Class A because, sorry, at Tier A, because you can get it earlier than the rest, but it does cost you a pretty penny. And that's the Orca we spoke about there, which is also purchasable. I'll put that in. Actually, I wouldn't put that in Tier 0, because you do have to buy it, and if you're going to spend 500k on a ship, you have much better options to buy. Next up on the tier list, we have the Dulahan 3. So this one here, you can only purchase from a vendor. I've not seen this land on a planet yet, though I wouldn't write off the possibility that it can land somewhere. It's a really good ship, right? It comes with native 37 reactor. It's got 1215 shields, very solid shields there. Very solid grav drive. It comes with electromagnetic weapon, ballistics here, some railguns, and it also has the obliterator auto alpha beams, which are one of the best weapons in the game, right? So overall, very solid ship. However, given the fact that it's such a rare encounter, I've done New Game Plus 11 now. I've not encountered this ship once, and it does have that. What is the sale value on it? Let me just check again. I think it's like 400 and. It's like 431k purchase value. It does not exactly make it the most sort of affordable ship or the go-to ship, right? It does not even have the best engines. It's just not worth the money, right? Because you have much better options out there that you can just go and get for free. So where does this sit on tier list? I would say the Dulahan will sit somewhere at CT, for the reasons already mentioned, right? Alright guys, so next on the list we have the Dragonfire 2. This also comes as Dragonfire 3, but to most of you guys, this will be known as the Ecliptic Claymore 3. As you can see here, in terms of aesthetics, they both look very similar. It's just the color coding that's different, right? Now, fundamental difference between these two ships is this one you can get for free. As you can see here, one just landed right there. They're very common drops. They come with very good stats. So they come with 38 reactor, over 3,000 cargo, 1,190 shields, which makes them like the favorite for many players. Where do I see the Ecliptic Claymore sitting? Given how widely available it is and how easy to modify it is, I would say this is an S tier ship. I'm sure many of you will agree with me here. It is just a really, really good ship. Now, as far as this one goes, I'll put this one in C tier. There's no reason for you to go and fork out the money to buy this, where you can get, you know, the exact same version of it for free in the form of Ecliptic Claymore 3 there. And the last ship on our list here, which will conclude part 1 of the tier list, is the Voyager 3. This is, without a doubt, an S tier ship, right? It's like 620k value. It's this most expensive template in the game. It comes with solid reactor there, good grav drive, very good shield, second best shields, okay engines, nothing spectacular, very good weapons, right? So how can you get this ship? There's two ways you can obtain it, right? You can either buy it from this vendor here, or any other vendor in the game after you reach level 72 or higher, or you can encounter it in the form of Valentine, or like a freestyle collective drifting ship, right? Which most of the time it's a one-on-one fight, and you can always pirate it and essentially get it for free, right? So referring back to my guide, if you're not sure how to pirate something without a bounty, please check out my guide. You'll be able to get this ship. So, in terms of rating this, I think it's important that we distinguish how we obtain the ship, right? If you get it for free, I would say this is a Class S ship. Sorry, Tier S. However, if you do not get it for free, I would say this is more like B tier, because it will cost you an absolute bank to buy this, right? And does not make it very, should I say, efficient, right? Because for that money, at that stage of the game, you can build a much, much better ship, right? Anyways, guys, that's it for part 1 of this tier list. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And in the second part of the tier list, we'll be dealing with all of these ships here. As always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate your time. And if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.